It is Monday, September 12th, 2022, 7 p.m. here at City Hall for the regular meeting of the City Council. Call the meeting to order and ask Carla to do the roll call, please.
Beaufort.
Here.
Bergen.
Here I am.
Drinkhouse.
Here.
Kangas.
Present.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Here.
And Rathi is absent.
That is correct. Move to item C, Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Moving to item D, approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Bergen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section E is approval of the minutes. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the minutes of the August 8th, August 15th, and August 22nd meetings as presented.
Second.
Motion by Myers, second by Bergen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section F is guest councilperson. Guest councilperson for the month of September is Marshall Morrow. Joins us this evening at the bequest of Mr. Schneider. So, Mr. Schneider, you have any words?
I'll let Marshall say his words.
Perfect.
What words would you like me to say?
Just a short introduction.
My name's Marshall. I grew up in Waverly. Moved away for college. Lived in Waterloo for several years. It came time to raise a family, so we decided to move back to Waverly. I've been back about 16 years and live here with my wife, Rebecca. My daughter, Morgan, just moved to Ames. She's a freshman at Iowa State, so empty nest. She was an only child, so thank you, Matt, for the invite, and thank you, everyone, for having me here.
No, I should say you're welcome, or I'm sorry, we'll see.
I'll let you know.
That's right. Ride it out and find out. So, you know the rules of engagement. Feel free to jump in at any time. Just don't get a vote and can't participate in executive session. So, welcome aboard. Section G is presentation of certificates of appreciation. Council recognizes board and commission members who have exited. Mary French and Heidi Solheim from Planning and Zoning Commission, and Brian Pins from the Leisure Services Commission, and Allison Menwart-Hales from the Human Equity and Diversity Commission. And I know we've got one of those here this evening. I don't see anyone else, I don't think, do I? No. There you go. I appreciate it. If you have any parting words that you'd like to share with the community, feel free to do so. Thank you, even. It's all good.
Yeah. Just, I guess, more thank you, but it was very interesting. It's not something that I had any background in, so I appreciate Bill's assistance with that, as well as at the time Hank Begelman was the chairperson. So it was fun.
Absolutely. Any council with comments?
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. All right, move forward with the section H, which is our proclamation. National Rail Safety Week, whereas 2,148 rail grade crossing collisions resulted in 658 personal injuries, and we're responsible for 238 fatalities in the United States during 2021, and whereas 1,151 trespassing incidents have occurred in the United States, resulting in 528 pedestrians being killed and another 623 injured while trespassing on railroad property rights of way during 2021. And whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railroad right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening while near railways, and obeying established traffic laws will reduce the number of fatalities and injuries. And whereas the International Association of Chiefs of Police, National Operation Lifesaver, United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state, county, and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and railroad corporations commit to partnering together in an effort to educate at a national level all aspects of railroad safety, to enforce applicable laws in support of National Rail Safety Week. Therefore, I, Mayor Adam P. Hoffman, and the City Council of the City of Waverly, Iowa, does hereby attest our full support proclaiming September 19th through the 25th of 2022 as National Rail Safety Week, and we encourage all citizens to recognize the importance of rail safety education. Entertain a motion to approve the proclamation.
Move approval of the proclamation as read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Kangas, second by Myers. Council discussion, if any? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section I is public comments for items not on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any individual member. Any public comments this evening? Seeing nobody truly rise, we will move forward with Section J, the consent calendar. Following items will be acted upon by voice vote on a single motion without separate discussion unless someone from the council or public requests that a specific item be considered separately. Item 1 is pay request from Hall & Hall Engineers Incorporated for the Youth Ball Field 2019, Cedar River Park for $253.50. Item 2 is a pay request from McClure Engineering for the Airport Taxiway Connector 2022 for the amount of $3,680. Item 3 is a pay request from Farnsworth Group for the 117 First Street Northeast building renovations for $7,162.50. Item 4 is a pay request from MSA Professional Services Incorporated for the Waverly Comprehensive Plan, Bike and Pedestrian Trail Plan, and Park and Open Space Plan project for $20,000. Item 5 is a pay request from Grider Construction Incorporated for the Water Pollution Control Facility improvements for $594,758.90. Item 6 is a pay request from WHKS for the Rolling Prairie Trail 2021 for $8,499.61. Item 7 is a pay request from WHKS for the Waverly Water Pollution Control Facility, WPCF, improvements for $20,109.76. Item 8 is a pay request from WHKS for the Waverly State Revolving Fund, SRF, sponsor project for $2,907.01. Item 9 is a pay request from Wicks Construction Incorporated for the Cedar Lane reconstruction for $35,050.25. Item 10 is a Class C liquor license for The Other Place 2. Item 11 is a Class C liquor license for Pokies. Item 12 is a Class B beer permit for Tee Up and Chillax. And number 13 is cash disbursements for July of 2022. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll move approval of the consent calendar as read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Drenko, second by Bergen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Moves us into Section K under regular business. Item number 1 is to approve a resolution 22119 approving a series resolution authorizing and approving a loan agreement and providing for the issuance and securing the payment of $27,063,000 of taxable hospital revenue bonds, Series 2022 Waverly Health Center project. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-119, a resolution approving a series resolution authorizing and approving a loan agreement and providing for the issuance and securing the payment of $27,063,000 taxable hospital revenue bonds, Series 2022 Waverly Health Center project.
Second.
Motion by Bergen, second by Drenko. Council discussion or staff input?
So we did this at the front of the project. I guess what's different on this?
I can let Lisa here as well from Waverly Health Center, it's their CFO, but basically we started the project with a certain amount of money we were going to allocate and look to it. I believe this is the final piece of it then after it's finished. So it's kind of a not to exceed, and here's what we're actually going to do in the end. That's you.
Correct, and this is the completion, so this is closing out the project. So this is us moving from the construction bonds into the final USDA project bonds upon completion. So yes, it's just the formality to complete that.
And it looks like it's starting almost a year early, and the payments are about 50 cents more per month.
Because I'm not sure on the amount. Yes, it's not a year early, it should have been a month post-closing. That was an error on the initial resolution.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Lisa. Hearing nothing further, roll call, Carla.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Angus.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 with one absent, Resolution 22-119 is approved. Item number 2 is Resolution 22-120, a resolution approving USDA loan resolution to approve USDA loans for the Waverly Health Center. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-120, a resolution approving USDA loan resolution to approve USDA loans for the Waverly Health Center.
Second.
Motion by Drinkow, second by Bergen. Council discussion. Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Angus.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and one absent, Resolution 22-120 is approved. Thank you for joining us this evening to answer any questions we may have had. You don't have to leave, but you can. Item number 3 is Resolution 22-109, a resolution designating persons or person to make financial decisions for the city of Waverly. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-109 designating James W. Bronner, City Administrator, and Valerie Northrup, Finance Manager, as the persons to make financial decisions for the City of Waverly, Iowa, as of this 12th day of September 2022.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Bergen. Council discussion.
Well, yeah, I guess, is there some place where financial decisions is defined? Do we have that at some point? I mean, that's a very broad term, and I
It's
guess.
intended to be, actually. I mean, a lot of what we're doing, whether it's myself or Valerie, in the past, it would just be finance director, finance manager, but if something occurs, now you're stuck without someone to make those decisions technically when it comes to CDs, banks, et cetera. So anytime we have a change in position, we go through the same thing. You have to reset who is allowed to make signatures, whether it's checks, whether it's CDs, et cetera, for the bank. And so this is what we're doing. This and the next item, which also then brings in the mayor and the city clerk then for check signing. So we're just reestablishing who is available to do the things that have been doing for as long as we've been here.
So is this a resolution that we've had in prior years?
3 years in the last 4, so
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I don't
Kind of a
recall
tough
that.
road that-
I guess the question I have, just financial decisions, I mean, there are a lot of things that can be, construed as a financial decision, so we're kind of trusting that is limited to things that are not the responsibility of the council,
Right.
like deciding on the budget for the year. That could be a financial decision, you see what I mean?
But all that's locked into code and ordinance that you would have to approve it after the fact. So none of this allows that to occur. This is just within the regular day-to-day business that we've already been doing, as I said, for
Right.
decades.
And
So
we
this is
already
just
have-
reaccepting the person.
We already have in code that there's like a minimum or a maximum that directors can purchase or.
It's not code, it's a policy.
Policy.
Purchasing policy of sorts. It's very thin, but
Is it 2, 5? I can't remember what.
it's
the-
not very much.
Yeah, the-
So this is a
for
completely
replacement
separate
parts or
thing
things like that.
altogether. I know people get confused by this, but this is completely separate from any purchasing approvals. This has nothing to do with that.
This is more documentation.
It's documentation, whether we're filling out bond documents. There are some things that have to be signed by finance director or mayor or myself. This allows us to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, but most recently, it was a month ago, I think it was, or maybe a little bit longer than that. James was gone, it was his regular vacation period, somebody else was out, and it was the first time in a year and a half that I've ever signed a check, but I was able to, on the signature cards to make business happen. It was right at the 1st of July, actually, to get things taken care of. So it's very rare that I would ever have to sign. That's the next item here. But
Right.
for instance, let's say a CD needed to be tended to, and these aren't done according to who is on there. What would happen, or what does that day look like for you?
You're stuck, the CD expires, and it goes back into earning zero interest on it. So this is what's requested actually from the banks to allow us to be able to even market and go to them to invest CDs, et cetera, which is part of the job description of the finance manager. So without this, you don't allow them to do their job. This is what's necessary to allow them to continue on with their service.
Yeah.
Any of the big budgetary stuff still has to come through us and all that.
Almost everything.
Well, there are a lot of things that statutorily have to.
Almost
Yeah.
everything has to come through.
And I understand the need for it. I have no objection to that, and I know the reason for the signature cards on the checking accounts and all of that. I guess I would maybe be happier with a different term rather than financial decisions, but I'll worry about that next year when this comes up again. And
Well, I hope it doesn't, because that means somebody else has left, so. I guess if that's where we're at working on it, we'll roll the dice.
If we change your job description, does that have to change again, or is?
I don't think so. It's, if my duties changed, like if I didn't have the ability to do that, then certainly it would. But yeah, it's just routine for us to continue to function going forward. As of right now, we had a CD that expired and I couldn't access it at all because I wasn't listed as a member to do it. So we've been earning 0 interest for the last month because we couldn't get to it. That's what we're trying to prevent from happening here, so.
In the future.
Luckily, interest is low.
It would have been 10 times higher than it was when we first took it out, but that's not saying a whole lot either. It was very, very low, so.
Okay. Anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Kangas.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 with 1 absent, Resolution 22-109 is approved. Item number 4 is Resolution 22-110, a resolution authorizing the mayor, city administrator, finance manager, and city clerk to execute certain financial institution documents. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-110 as read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Bergen, second by Volper. Council discussion.
This is the one that allows us to sign checks as approved by council.
Hearing nothing further, roll call, Carla.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-110 is approved. Item number 5 is Resolution 12-111, a resolution approving a plat of survey for parcel V located in the city of Waverly, Iowa. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of Resolution 12-111, approving a plat of survey for parcel V located in the city of Waverly, Iowa, for Kenneth Miller Living Trust, owner, and Gary Schultz, buyer.
Second.
Motion by Drankow, second by Schneider. Council discussion?
Shouldn't that be 22-111?
Yeah, on the,
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
it's okay.
Correct.
Yep.
You're correct on the resolution.
We'll amend Mr. Drankow's motion to use, amend your,
Attribute it to my dyslexia.
that's okay.
What's typed?
It was typed that way, yeah. In my defense, I read it the way it was typed. Oops. That was my.
Any discussion?
The question mark on it.
You okay?
Now we just have a spill. I was gonna.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
We're good.
On Resolution 12-111, roll call, Carla.
22-111.
Yes.
22-111.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0, Resolution 12-111 is approved. Item number 6, Resolution 12-112, 22-112, geez, you got me going on
It's tight break this time.
It's, yeah, it's,
Once you get
Rob's
it,
rubbing
you
off on me. A resolution approving a plat of survey for parcel I located in the city of Waverly, Iowa.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-112, approving a plat of survey for parcel I located adjacent to 39th Street Northeast in the city of Waverly, Iowa, for Bremer County Fair Association owner and Bremer County the buyer.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Kangas. Please have some discussion while Carla's gone.
Sure can. First bill, review. County to the county. Oh, she's back.
She's back.
Now, the county is going to build a structure on that property, and this is conveying it to them to allow them to do that.
Yep, allowing them to have a portion, small portion.
Yep, just over an acre.
All right. Roll call on 112.
Schneider?
Yes.
Beaufour?
Yes.
Bergen?
Yes.
Drinkow?
Yes.
Kangas?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 with one absent, 22-112 is approved.
Can I ask who moved?
Yes, you may. It was Schneider and Kangas.
Thank you.
Yep.
Apologies.
No, you're good. Item 7, Resolution 22-113, a resolution approving an offer to purchase real estate and personal property currently owned by the Waverly Golf and Country Club in the city of Waverly. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of Resolution 22-113, approving an offer to purchase real estate and personal property owned by the Waverly Golf and Country Club and located at 705 8th Street Southwest, Waverly, Iowa, for a not-to-exceed amount of $108,000.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Kangas. Council discussion?
So contained in this language is a commitment to build a new pro shop and facility on the current site. Do we have a sense of the order of magnitude that facility would cost us to build?
No, and there's no guarantee you have to do that. If a building is renovated or done, that stipulation was it would be on the site, not that it has to be done. If you look at the age of the structure, it is kind of chopped up. I don't know if it's going to be conducive to continue to use it long-term, but if it does have to be redone or demolished, it would be on that same site. So it was not committed to having to build a new structure, but if something is built, that's the location. There's been a lot of misinterpretation in that, but that was the initial intent, was that it's on that site if something is done.
Okay, I mean, the way I read it is it says the city will build a new pro shop and facility on the current site.
Correct.
Does that, I don't see how that can be interpreted as if we build something, it will be on the current site.
Well, if you decide not to build something, then it won't be on that site as far as a new facility. I can let Bill talk about it from a legal standpoint, but this does not commit you to necessarily having to do this or having to expend that funding. It doesn't say the date you'll do it either, whether it's 10 years from now or 20 years from now. So if we do build something different, it will be on that site.
Okay,
So that's, I guess I would interpret that.
okay, meaning that we're committing to build it, but maybe it'll be in 50 years before we actually do that.
It's
So-
possible, correct.
Okay.
And is that, we're limited then to that site's footprint where it is now, so going forward with the recommendations that will come in from MSA and then subsequent redesign of Memorial Park, will be locked into if there's going to be a clubhouse, that's where it will be?
And we would want that. I mean, that's an ideal location. That's part of why we wanted to accomplish this in the first place.
Okay.
It's a great setting, it's a good view, it's a good place to have it, and it doesn't take up places in the Memorial Park area, which are limited already. So acquiring that lets us create something on top of that hill in that area. I don't think it has to be in that exact footprint. It can be shifted, it can be moved, it can be different size. It's just that is the location we would want to put it.
Okay, thanks.
Do we have, I mean, we're going to be a little ways off before we're operating a restaurant, bar. Do we have city policy in place already that would, address things that would need to be addressed in a business like that? Such as sexual harassment and maybe some of this other stuff that.
Well, we have personnel policies that address that to start with, but as far as in a restaurant or bar setting, I don't know that we do since we don't currently own one. I know there's been a lot of discussion in the public. I don't really care about a lot of the stuff that's been discussed. This is about us buying a facility, grounds, and assets, not a culture or anything else. This is just us buying what we're buying. Going forward, we'll run as we would any other city facility. That's the best I can tell you. At this point in time, we don't know how that's going to look or what that's going to be, but we will take the appropriate measures and the proper documentation to ensure we're able to do things same as they are in every other golf course or any other city in the state. It's really no different. This was the difference, not having that building. I don't know if another entity has an agreement like this. This will get us to what the norm is for most cities that have courses.
So once we take this over, any employees at the country club will basically be bound by the municipal employees contract.
The handbook that we
The
have
handbook.
performs with,
Okay.
correct?
To some of the concerns that have been expressed out in the public about the city taking on a business, or I've seen some comments that people have said the city shouldn't be competing with local businesses and so on. Is it fair to say that our acquisition of the country club, if this vote passes tonight, is not committing to the city owning a business in terms of, like, a business that would compete with other restaurants and bars in town? We're just doing, like you said, we're buying that property so that it can be used going forward.
I guess I don't really understand your question. I mean, we
Well,
are
I guess-
buying a
I
property that will
understand that.
have food and beverage.
But we're
like
not,
some
we're not
places would,
talking about
but-
having a full-service restaurant that
it's not
a
offers
supper
sit-down
club,
menus
it's not
and
a-
people
no.
coming in. It's more for the golfers coming off the course or making the
is.
turn, getting a burger, getting a brat, getting.
Any course you go and play in the state of Iowa, and I've played a lot of them, you have some type of beverage, you have some type of food. You're not going to stop your round in the middle, go downtown, get a burger and fries, come back, have a drink, and finish your round. It's not gonna happen. So the comments we've had about it interrupting flow of play, they're not going there anyway. They're gonna stay on the course, have something as they are now, same as it is today, and they're gonna finish their round. This is not a destination restaurant. This is not a facility we're going to rent. This is not anything like that. It is truly us being able to fully utilize all the amenities of a course that we should have had long ago, in my opinion. This allows us to compete with other golf courses, because right now we don't have that ability, because we don't control food, beverage, or anything of that nature. Now we will. So it gives us an even playing field.
So is this kind of the equivalent of complaining about the snack shop at the pool competing with local, like with the Quick
Absolutely.
Start? Okay.
Or a food truck that's at another organization, or
Yeah.
these things occur all over, everywhere. This is no different, other than we are getting a captured audience that is gonna eat there regardless. If we don't serve it, then yep, they'll have to go somewhere else, or they won't come and play it. I mean, it's no different than any other course owned by any city in the state.
And as far as a bar, it's probably not gonna be open until 11, 12 o'clock
No,
at night.
not even close.
It's gonna be operating, a little bit after sundown when golfers are coming off the course and probably.
All things that we'll establish once we get into how this is operating, if you go ahead and approve the vote tonight. It is not going to be a bar establishment, it is not going to be a restaurant. It's going to be a food and beverage service for a golf course. Simple as that.
I won't be able to go there after city council meeting.
Nope. Not unless you hustle. Won't be open that late, so
In June.
maybe.
Won't have that much daylight yet.
Yeah.
I appreciate that clarification,
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
think that has been not clear in the community.
And the alternative, I mean, you think about just a couple off the top of my head, cities have lost their golf courses in recent, private or not, but.
Yep.
So, this is definitely in that box where I think the city has to rescue it, so.
I mean, it allows us, again, to control all aspects of our course, because right now, when we push for tournament after tournament, we are taking care of the grounds, we are paying for the grounds to be put back together, but there's no revenue generated from the food, beverage, et cetera, which is where the margins sit. So we've been supplementing this enterprise for as long as it's been there, by keeping the course in the shape it is, making it so playable that people come to play. And so, is that really fair, in a sense, going forward?
And I think that's some concern that, we're gonna get into this and the city's gonna lose money on it. Well, it's already being subsidized, so we can offset that more by pulling in food and beverage.
We're hoping
I
to
mean, it just
reduce the
makes
tax
sense.
dollars that we're expending now by utilizing what we're going to gain in this. And again, we'll have to look at everything out there, from the financials to what works, what doesn't. I have tremendous faith in Jordan David to help run that facility, or I wouldn't even have proposed something like this, half a year ago. We'll take a hard look at it, and in the end, if it doesn't pan out, then we will take measures to address it. We may not have, it's things that we will have to look at. Our goal is to keep the experience the same as it is now and make it better. But all that depends on how we can function and operate. And we don't really know that until we get into the details of how things have been going, what it looks like today, staffing, et cetera. So it's a big step, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is a big step. But I think it's one that, as long as we continue to operate a course like this, If we truly want to compete, then we have to be able to compete in all areas, not just the greens are nice and the carts are great, but you can't eat or drink there because we don't have that. So this allows us to, again, compete with other courses, not necessarily other businesses in town.
I think there's a bit of a misconception, and I know we've already discussed this, so I'm not going to discuss it in a lot of detail, but I think Brian is right. Some of the people I've talked to that have been concerned about the city running this, I think they have the concept that this is going to be a big full-service restaurant, country club, steakhouse, you know, all of that kind of thing, and that's not really it. It's really more in line of being a concession stand, a little bit maybe more involved than that, but and I think that's the intention of what we have going forward in this. So I think people are maybe a little bit concerned about things that are really not something that we're looking at doing.
Yeah, this is not, as I said, going to be a restaurant standalone, late night specials, that kind of thing. It's going to be food and beverage for the players on the course. We're not going to rent the facility. It's going to have tournaments. It's going to be big enough for that. Just as it says right in here, it'll have a bar and a restaurant. Not a full-service sit-down dinner club. It's nothing like that. It should have said beverage and food. That's what it's going to consist of. There will be a kitchen. It's possible for some of that. But it's not going to be 11, 12, 1 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm not staying around that late. I don't expect other people to either. Employees to
We're
be
going
around
to
that
challenge
long.
for the best roller dogs in town.
I really wouldn't want to even have roller dogs, to be honestly, but if we have to, we will. So yeah, everything you see is what we've discussed for the last 4 to 6 months. Nothing's changed. It's as we presented initially. We're just hoping to move forward.
And as far as a facility, the only thing would be for, if we have tournaments, you want to have a place that's available inside for post-tournament gathering,
Correct.
awards, you know, could be a little bit of a setup for catering to come in, but not that the restaurant would be serving a massive meal of any
Right.
sort.
Yeah, catering kitchens are popular now. You see it in most big tournaments. You're not even utilizing that as a restaurant. It's somebody coming in, prepping food and leaving and done. So it has changed. The face of golf in general has changed as far as how tournaments are ran, et cetera. So we're just trying to adjust and go forward in that same manner and accordingly change with it.
Go. Anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Beaufour?
Yes.
Bergen?
Yes.
Drinkow?
Yes.
Kangas?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 with 1 absent, Resolution 22-113 is approved. Item 8 is Resolution 22-114. A resolution accepting the Cedar Lane Culvert Replacements Project is complete and approving change order number 1 and pay estimate number 3 as the final payment.
I will move approval of Resolution 22-114, accepting the Cedar Lane Culvert Replacements Project as complete and approving change order number 1 for the next decreased amount of $5,467.64 and pay estimate number 3 for $18,297.17 as the final payment to Peterson Contractors, Inc. of Rhinebeck, Iowa.
Second.
Motion by Drankow, second by Bergen. Council discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Bergen?
Yes.
Drinkow?
Yes.
Kangas?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Beaufour?
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-114 is approved. Item number 9 is Resolution 22-115. Resolution accepting the Well 5 Reconfiguration 2022 project is complete and approving change order number 1 and pay estimate number 2 as the final payment. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-115, accepting the Well 5 Reconfiguration 2022 project, approving change order number 1 for a net increase of $318 to the original contract amount of $87,570, and pay estimate number 2 in the amount of $7,472.40 as the final payment to Denver Underground and Grading, Inc. of Denver, Iowa.
Second.
Motion by Myers, second by Bergen. Council discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Drinkow?
Yes.
Kangas?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Beaufour?
Yes.
Bergen?
Yes.
6-0 with 1 absent, Resolution 22-115 is approved. Item 10 is Resolution 22-116, a resolution approving addendum number 21-TAP-148-A to Iowa DOT Agreement 2021-TAP-148. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-116, approving addendum number 21 TAP 148A to Iowa DOT Agreement 2021 TAP 148A, which amends the description of the project to read, in the city of Waverly along 10th Avenue Southwest from 16th Street Southwest to utility access driveway.
Second.
Motion by Dranko, second by Bergen. Council discussion. Benny?
Can we get some explanation?
Just,
I mean, this little stretch of bicycle trail seems to have been the most complicated stretch of bicycle trail ever in existence.
I mean, it's literally what it says, you're amending the description to give a correct
Crossing our Ts and
address.
dotting our Is.
It really is, if you would like.
Yeah, and in a minor correction, my error, the original agreement, it wasn't 2021-TAP, it was 21-TAP, so
Okay.
the amendment just is -A, but yes, I feel a little bit like a circus dog jumping through more hoops. So because we changed the alignment, it was originally going to cross Heritage Way at the intersection, and we changed the alignment. And the federally eligible portion also changed. They are saying that we need to formally amend the original agreement that we had with them to reflect that. So not only are we having to do that, but down at Intercog, they are also having to amend their program as well, and we are going to do that on Thursday. So yes, more hoops. I believe that we are set up for December letting through the DOT. So that means that probably in another month and a half or so, this will come back to the council again, but this time it will be to formally set the public hearing on the plan specifications form of contract. We will have the DOT letting, and then probably in January is when we will hold the public hearing and then also hopefully award the project as well.
So before we vote on this, Mike, is it supposed to be 21 TAP or 2021 TAP?
21-TAP-148.
Okay,
is
so
the original
we should
agreement.
probably change the resolution to
Yeah.
read that, if
Sorry.
that's acceptable to
Because
everyone.
Because we don't want it to come back again.
We do not want it to come back again.
I don't think it would, because you will, the mayor will sign the amendment, and that is correct.
Correct, okay.
Anything further?
We talked
Until
about
next
things
time.
where it would be nice to give somebody the authority to just sign off on.
this is one of those, it's just kind of like trails.
We just,
No, this one has to come to you.
Yeah. We get the vote on these.
You do.
yes.
That's good, because we want to have like
This is
oversight. This
control.
is like, that what's all about.
And having short meetings is over.
Yeah, this is the
Overrated.
meat of what you do right here. This is the stuff, so.
That sausage, right, Rod?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, hearing nothing further. Roll call, Carla.
Ringtown.
Yes.
Angus.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Goforth.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0 and one absent. Resolution 22-116 is approved. Item number 11 is Resolution 22-117, a resolution approving the purchase of equipment and software for traffic signal controllers. Entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve Resolution 22-117, a resolution approving the purchase of controllers and monitors for 5 traffic signal locations, along with related fiber, equipment, and software from General Traffic Controls of Spencer, Iowa, for the quoted price of $60,000, and an additional amount to Tetro Electric of $7,500 for materials and labor to remove old cabinet and replace with new cabinet for a total cost of $67,500.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Kangas. Council discussion, if any.
So this is all along 4th Street Southwest, it appears?
asked me to fill in for him. Yes, this is from the McDonald's going south. There are 5 traffic signals. We have transitioned from upgrading cameras to now moving towards the controller and the software system. What is kind of important about this corridor is that we have 2 commercial developments that will be occurring that could certainly change the traffic patterns, and so being able to get controllers in there that we can then look at, if necessary, incorporating additional features at these locations. This is beneficial to that. It seems as with everything, it's moving towards software contracts, and so this does have an annual software contract of $8,500 a year that you'll see being programmed into the budget going forward. We have, I believe it's 15 traffic signals in total. I think we have cameras at 12 of them, I believe. And so we can add intersections to the software program, and it's not a proportional cost. So if we add 5, it's not going to double our annual subscription from $8,500 to $17,000. It doesn't work that way. It's basically an $8,500 charge for, you know, a range of traffic signals from, I don't know, 0 to 50 or something like that. So we're, I think, fine in that respect going forward, that we can expand our traffic control system, put it onto this software program that allows us to remotely access it and troubleshoot it if necessary.
So this is our first place where we're upgrading the boxes rather than the cameras?
Correct.
Okay, and then like kind of the next couple, we'll do more boxes, like along Bramer Avenue and whatnot?
As it's needed, yes.
Okay.
So as it's mentioned in the agenda memo, that we will, part of Tetro's responsibility is he's going to gut the system and salvage the parts that he can for use along the Bremer Avenue corridor. So hopefully this affords us some time so that we're able to upgrade on our schedule as opposed to having the system degrade and being put into an urgent situation going forward.
And the outcome of installing all of this then will be pretty smooth through the corridor? I mean, it'll fix most of the stuff I've been complaining about through there?
Gets rid of that little guy that was hitting the butt when you went by. Yeah.
What would be helpful is if you can send us an email that identifies things that you think are issues or concerns. We're maybe not always aware of them.
Because it's not operating on one brain through the 4th corridor now, is it? Is there any brain to it?
I hesitate to say, because I think that it partially is, and I want to say that the master controller might be at 4th and 10th Avenue with the Parkway. But again, I'm not prepared to speak to that. But if you do have issues or concerns anywhere in town with how the signals are operating, send those to us in email, and it's really helpful if you can also specify the time of day that you notice the issue or concern, because our software system is set up to operate like a nighttime version versus a daytime version. So again, help us out to diagnose it. It really helps if you can identify the time of day and kind of what the situation is.
I think what Matt's kind of alluding to is this system, does it kind of have a learning that it kind of preemptively knows that it's busy at this time and can put those things into pattern through that corridor to make it even more efficient? Not that anything is or isn't wrong with it, but it should improve efficiency in a general sense.
So just like downtown with the camera system, it detects vehicles on the side streets, and so it can change the timing on the traffic signal for the side streets, whether there's one vehicle or 6 vehicles. So if there's one, it may go pretty quick. If there's 6, it'll hold it green a little bit longer to clear that out.
Right.
It also responds to whether pedestrians are activating the crossing button as well. It changes the timing to accommodate them. So it's not a learning system in the sense like it's not
Artificial
cyber
intelligence.
intelligent. Sorry, what's that?
Artificial intelligence
Yeah.
doesn't like learn.
We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
But like some of these intersections along there we don't have monitors for now, do we? Or are there 5 monitors along there now? I don't see any. I mean, just adding monitors so you could detect side street traffic would be a huge, huge improvement.
Yeah, so like the one at 13th Avenue by the car wash there, Hy-Vee, is still operating off of detectors in the pavement. And so being able to get onto a camera system that is then, it's kind of like face detection, it can tell how many vehicles are there, allows us to then basically program that into it. So it would be more responsive in that respect.
Okay.
All right, anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Angus.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0 and 1 absent. Resolution 22-117 is approved. Item number 12 is Resolution 22-118, a resolution setting a public hearing for review of plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the remodel of the existing Parks Maintenance Building Phase 1 project. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-118, setting a public hearing at 7 PM on September 19th, 2022 in the council chambers at City Hall for review of plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated costs for the remodel of the existing Parks Maintenance Building Phase 1.
Second.
Motion by Myers, second by Bergen. Council discussion?
So this is phase 1. How many phases are we anticipating?
As many as it takes. In all seriousness, we're not 100% sure. The most important one was this piece as we start where the offices are, the restrooms, where they're ADA compliant, where there's a lot of things in that building from the mid-60s maybe was built. 50, so it's got issues that we need to start to address it. It was that or look at building a new complex somewhere, which we've done for Public Works. We think we can address that instead in place with a remodel as we work through. I think it'll be 2 phases for the one building and 1 or 2 for the other, and then that should be it. So it'll give us then a true complex for parks as well, instead of getting the hand-me-downs of the other departments as they've been. Because this building was actually better than the other building you were in, which says a lot about where they were before. So we're trying to remodel and get people up to the standard they should be. Because if you go through that building, it's pretty tough. And this addresses a lot of issues, from the roof, the insulation, the flooring, everything. It's just been pretty bad for a while. We just need to start looking at it. So this gets that first big piece done. This is the worst of it here, actually, as you go through it. And I will say this is the 3rd year we've been working to get this done. The first 2, we were accumulating funds to be able to do some of this. And so this finally gets us to that point to get this first phase done. So it's not a instant, hey, we've done this and this is the only year. This is the 3rd year we've been working on this to get it built, so we didn't have to take it all in one hit.
And this is in our current fiscal year?
Correct.
Okay.
This should be done by spring, we're hoping, I believe.
Yep.
All right. Anything further? Roll call, Carla.
Myers.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Beaufour.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Drinkow.
Yes.
Angus.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0 and 1 absent. Resolution 22-118 is approved. Section K is reports from boards and commissions. Item number 1 is Leisure Services Commission minutes of June 16th of 22. Item 2 is Historic Preservation Commission minutes of June 27th, 22. Item 3 is Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of July 7th of 22. Item 4 is Waverly Public Library Board of Trustees minutes of July 12th, 22. Number 5 is the monthly financial report of July 22. Item 6 is Waverly Public Library Fundraising Committee minutes of August 3rd, 2022. And number 7 is the senior calendar for September 2022, all received into the record. Section L is staff updates. Mr. Bronner.
Yes, sir. I think Garrett has a brief update for us tonight.
Perfect.
First thing is, the Day of Caring is this Wednesday. We do have a couple of projects through Parks and Veg Management. First one is we are planting some trees that didn't make it over the last couple of years, so we're replacing those, about a half a dozen of those. And then we are also planting perennials at the plaza and pavilion. So if anyone wants to come out and help with that, feel free. We'll be down there about 9:30 on Wednesday and doing the planting. That'll pretty much finish off that project until we get to the walkways down to the river. Along with that, leads me into the mural is done. I was gonna bring a picture of it for everyone tonight, but I thought it'd be a lot better if everyone just walked down to see it. So maybe wait until after Wednesday and you can see all the plants down at the plaza as well. But we opened the disc golf course here a couple weeks ago. We've already had close to 300 rounds that have been played there, and those are just the rounds that have been logged through the app UDisc. So it doesn't even include the folks who have just gone down and played without logging in. It's not complete yet. We still need to get benches, waste baskets, signage, those type of things, but that'll all be coming in the spring. The last thing is we were down at Cedar River Park on September 3rd for kind of a open house, soft opening, whatever you kind of want to call it. There's about 125 people who came out. Got to go out, run the bases, take some ground balls, hit some balls. It was a lot of fun. I think everyone there had a really good time, so excited to get those open. That's all I've got for you tonight.
Thank you.
That's all we have tonight, sir.
Thank you. City Council comments, Mr. Bergen.
I've got nothing. We got an executive session, so I'm not going to the bar afterwards because no one will know when I get there.
All right. Buffer?
I have no comments, thank you.
All right. Spires?
Just a reminder that this Thursday evening from 5 to 8 is Ladies' Night Out for businesses in Waverly, both downtown and outlying, and encourage everybody to come down. That'll be a really fun evening. And I also wanted to give a shout out to the city in appreciation of how awesome the planters downtown look and how well they've been taken care of this year. They really are very nice.
Thank you.
Don't have anything.
All right. Mr. Dranko?
Nope.
Marshall?
I'm impressed. You guys are well organized, very fluid meeting. So I don't watch your meetings on television, so this is all new to me. But you guys do a great job, so thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Kangas?
No.
Okay. I just want to thank the community that's been involved with when we've had larger sporting events coming into town, not just at the high school, but the cross-country field. We had a large, what do you call it, meet, I guess, up there. Had a lot of people from all over the place into town, so I know that our guests truly appreciate our hospitality. So with that, we'll move to section O, executive session. Item number 1 is